Welcome to LEWS Podcast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a story that, well, it's really captured widespread attention recently. And it's prompted a huge outpouring of emotion, especially from the culinary world, but honestly, far beyond that, too. We're focusing on the life and the incredibly sudden passing of Chef Anne Burrell, a truly vibrant, just unforgettable figure. We've gathered a whole stack of sources for this deep dive, everything from the initial news reports, police statements, to really heartfelt personal tributes from people who knew her best. Our mission here is to help you understand the circumstances around her death, but maybe just as importantly, to celebrate her incredible impact and her lasting legacy.
Absolutely. Our goal for you today is really to distill the most important facts as we know them. We want to piece together the timeline of events and share some insights directly from those who were closest to her. We want to give you a clear, comprehensive picture of what is definitely a complex story. We'll delve into the facts reported by authorities. We'll talk about the ongoing investigations and certainly highlight the remarkable career and just the personality that touched so many lives. It's definitely a story with many layers, and we're here to help you unpack them.
Okay, so let's unpack this sudden news. Because for so many people, it came as a complete shock. Her passing was just incredibly unexpected. Can you maybe walk us through the immediate facts? What was reported about that day?
Absolutely. So Anne Burrell passed away on June 17th, 2025. She was 55 years old, and this happened at her home in Brooklyn, New York. What's particularly striking, I think, is the immediate timeline that emerged from the reports. Her husband, Stuart Claxton, they married back in 2021. He apparently last saw her around 1 a.m. that morning.
Okay, 1 a.m.
Right. Then, later that morning, around 7:50 a.m., he discovered her unconscious in the shower. Emergency services were called right away. The initial report was for a cardiac arrest. But sadly, she was pronounced dead right there at the scene.
Wow. So a very, very rapid and baffling turn of events for her family, her loved ones. And with a discovery like that, so sudden, I imagine there must have been an immediate investigation. What did the authorities initially see or, observe at the scene?
It's precisely right. Given the suddenness, the circumstances, the NYPD launched an investigation immediately. Their initial observations, according to reports, stated there were no obvious signs of foul play. However, and this is a significant detail that emerged very quickly, she was found surrounded by dozens of pills. The reports say around 100 pills.
100, really?
Yeah, approximately 100. And that discovery, as you can imagine, immediately prompted authorities to open an ongoing investigation. They're specifically looking at her death as a possible drug overdose.
Right. That's a crucial distinction, though. It's possible drug overdose is not confirmed yet.
Yeah.
But the presence of those pills, well, it immediately directs the focus, doesn't it? So while the police are investigating that possibility, what's the official process now? What are we actually waiting for to get a definitive answer?
That's the critical piece of the puzzle we're all waiting on. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the OCME in New York, they've confirmed an autopsy has been conducted. Now, for anyone unfamiliar, an autopsy is a thorough medical examination, to determine the cause and manner of death. But the formal results from that, especially the toxicology reports, those are still pending.
Toxicology, right? That takes time.
It does. Toxicology involves testing for any substances, medications, illicit drugs, things like that in the body and their levels. So while the investigation is clearly, focused on those pills found at the scene, we don't have the official confirmed cause and manner of death yet. It's about being thorough, being scientific.
So the immediate facts, they point in a certain direction, maybe suggest something. But the official determination, that requires the full scientific process. It really just underscores how in complex situations like this, the first reports, they're really just the beginning of understanding what happened.
Exactly. It's one of those situations where the immediate facts give strong indicators, perhaps. But the underlying why, that really needs to be rigorously determined by the medical and forensic experts. And especially since the NYPD indicated no signs of foul play, the medical findings become absolutely paramount in establishing the official record.
What makes this whole situation even more poignant and, frankly, quite perplexing are the details that started emerging about Anne Burrell's final hours. How was she reportedly doing just before she passed? The sources we looked at paint a very specific picture.
Yeah, this is where the story takes on an even more complex, and I have to say, kind of heartbreaking dimension. There's this apparent stark contrast between the circumstances of her death and her reported state of mind just prior to it. So on the night before her passing, Anne Burrell actually performed at the Second City.
Wow, Second City, the comedy theater.
That's the one.
Mm.
the renowned improv comedy theater in New York. And reports from people who saw her there that night, they say she was appearing happy, vibrant, really in high spirits. And what's more, her very final Instagram post, which she shared just hours before her death, it featured this joyful selfie. She looked incredibly upbeat.
Hmm. That juxtaposition, public happiness, vitality, performing comedy, and then the private tragic discovery just hours later. It's really striking. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, about the full picture behind what people present to the world, especially public figures who are kind of always on.
It's more than just wondering, I think. It really highlights the profound complexity of, well, human experience, especially for those in the public eye. This stark contrast between her outwardly joyful performance, her social media presence, and then the private discovery in her home. It forces us to consider the immense pressure many people feel, to maintain a public persona, and how that can often obscure personal struggles happening behind closed doors. It's a potent reminder, really, that what we see on Instagram or even in public appearances is, well, it's rarely the full reflection of someone's entire reality.
Yeah.
And the sheer quantity of pills found, while we're still waiting for toxicology, it isn't just a fact in the case. It immediately raises questions about the intensity of a personal struggle that was likely hidden from public view. It's kind of a window into the silent battles so many people face, even those we admire from afar.
That's a really powerful point. It definitely adds another layer to how we process these kinds of public tragedies. But despite the questions surrounding her passing, one thing is absolutely crystal clear from all the sources we've gathered. Anne Burrell left an indelible mark, a huge mark. Let's maybe shift our focus now to her incredible life, the profound legacy she built, because that's what truly defined her. So what does this all mean when we look at her career and just the outpouring of tributes?
Her career was genuinely extraordinary and multifaceted. Anne Burrell was born September 21st, 1969 in Cazenovia, New York. Her journey into the culinary world, it was both passionate and very deliberate. She actually earned a Bachelor of Arts from Canisius College first in 1991, but then quickly pivoted to her true calling, graduating from the prestigious Culinary Institute of America, the CIA, in 1996.
Right, the CIA, top tier.
Absolutely. And she wasn't content to stop there. She then went on to further hone her skills at the Italian Culinary Institute for Foreigners in Italy. And this is really where her signature style, that bold, Italian-inspired cooking, really took root. Her early career saw her working in Italy, which was foundational for her, and then back in New York City at top restaurants like Felidia and Savoy. Later, she even became an instructor at the Institute of Culinary Education, IC, sharing her passion directly with aspiring chefs, which I think really speaks volumes about her nature as a mentor, even early on.
And then, of course, came the television career. That's what truly made her a household name, showcasing her unique personality, her passion for food, to millions. She wasn't just another chef on TV. She had such a distinctive presence.
Absolutely. Her TV journey really kicked off as a sous chef on Iron Chef America, starting back in 2005. And people immediately noticed her, right? Her spiky blonde hair, her energy, that rapid-fire commentary. She quickly became a standout. She was also involved with Secrets of a Restaurant Chef from 2008 and 2012. But what really cemented her place in America's kitchens and their living rooms was hosting Worst Cooks in America.
Oh, yeah, Worst Cooks. She was that show.
She really was. She helmed that show for an incredible 27 seasons starting in 2010. And on Worst Cooks, she became known for this unique blend, right? Tough love, no-nonsense teaching, but also this surprising, nurturing quality towards even the most culinarily challenged contestants. Beyond that, she also won Chopped All-Stars in 2015, proving her own competitive chops. And just recently, she appeared on the Food Network competition House of Knives back in March 2025. Her impact on the culinary world, on television, it was immense. She made gourmet cooking feel approachable, even fun for countless home cooks.
And the tributes, I mean, they've poured in from all corners of the culinary world and beyond. They've been absolutely overwhelming, truly reflecting just how many lives she touched, professionally and personally.
They have been incredibly heartfelt and remarkably consistent in their message, too. The culinary world responded with just profound sadness, but also immense gratitude for her presence. Andrew Zimmern, for instance, he called her a beautiful, gifted soul trailblazer during the Aspen Food and Wine Classic, really highlighting her pioneering spirit.
Trailblazer, yeah.
Exactly. And then you have chefs like Robert Irvine, Tyler Florence, Beau McMillan, Michael Simon, Duff Goldman, all sharing deeply personal memories. Their tributes consistently praise not just her cooking skills, obviously, but specifically her generosity as a mentor, her vibrant, infectious personality that could just light up any room. Her family, in their other statement, they mourned her legacy as a cherished wife, sister, daughter, stepmother, and friend, noting her warmth, her boundless love, that radiant presence. What's truly fascinating and so consistent across all these tributes is the emphasis on her warmth, her remarkable ability to mentor and inspire, and just the sheer joy she brought to others, both on screen and off. It really paints this picture of someone who genuinely lifted up those around her.
It really does. It's a beautiful legacy.
Yeah.
So if we connect this back to the bigger picture, tie it back to the ongoing investigation, what do we know about what happens next in terms of the official information that, we in the public are still waiting for?
Right. The key pieces of information we are all still awaiting are precisely those medical examiner's reports, specifically the toxicology results and the full, final autopsy findings. These are the critical documents that will definitively determine the official cause and manner of death. Now, while the current indications from the initial scene, those pills, suggest a possible overdose, nothing has been definitively confirmed or ruled out by the authorities. That's important to stress.
Crucial point.
And it's also important to reiterate what the police said initially. Investigators found nothing suggesting external foul play or any kind of criminal involvement. So the primary focus for understanding how she died remains squarely on those medical and scientific findings. And until those reports are complete and released, the official picture just remains incomplete.
Okay. So in essence, we have this clear, rich picture of her incredible life, her profound impact, her legacy. And we also know the immediate tragic circumstances surrounding her passing. But the definitive scientific answers regarding the precise cause, those are still in the hands of the medical authorities, ensuring a thorough and complete investigation, which takes time.
That's exactly right. It's about respecting that scientific and legal process that seeks the complete truth, even as, everyone mourns the loss of such a bright light.
This deep dive into Anne Burrell's story, it really offers us such a powerful snapshot, doesn't it? A life lived so fully with such passion and generosity, juxtaposed with the sudden and still kind of unfolding circumstances of her death. We've explored the timeline of her passing, the ongoing investigation into a possible drug overdose, and that really striking contrast between her public high spirits and the private tragedy discovered at her home.
And I think most importantly, we've had the chance to reflect on her extraordinary career and the profound impact she had on so many people in the culinary world and just, beyond. Her legacy of warmth, that unwavering mentorship, her vibrant personality, that's clearly what shines through most brightly in all the tributes. From her peers, her students, her loved ones, she genuinely made cooking accessible and fun for a whole generation.
As you reflect on this deep dive, maybe consider how often the full story of a person's life, their achievements, their spirit, the love they shared, how that continues to resonate long after they're gone. It kind of leaves you with a thought, perhaps. In an age where so much of our lives seem public, how well do we truly know the full story behind the public facade? And what does it mean to celebrate a legacy while also acknowledging the unanswered questions that sometimes accompany a tragic loss like this?